Most people think the biggest mistake you can make on a flight is picking the wrong seat. But in reality, one of the worst decisions you can make happens before you even buckle your seatbelt. And it's what you choose to eat. Because at 35,000 feet, your body doesn't work the same way it does on the ground. Cabin pressure changes how you digest food. Dry air affects your stomach. And limited movement slows everything down even more. That means certain foods that feel completely normal on the ground can turn into a nightmare in the air. We're talking about bloating, discomfort, dehydration, and in some cases, serious digestive issues, all while you're stuck in a tight seat with nowhere to go. And it gets worse. Some foods don't just affect you, they affect everyone around you. Strong smells linger in the cabin. Messy meals become impossible to handle in turbulence. And certain snacks can leave you feeling worse by the time you land than when you took off. The problem is, most travelers have no idea which foods cause these issues. They grab something quick at the airport, eat out of habit, and only realize the mistake once they're already mid-flight. In this video, we're breaking down 8 foods you should never eat on an airplane, why they cause problems, and what smarter alternatives you should choose instead. Because once you understand how your body reacts during a flight, you can avoid unnecessary discomfort and actually enjoy the journey. Before we get into the list, make sure to hit the like button if you want more travel tips that actually make a difference. And don't forget to subscribe for weekly travel hacks, packing strategies, and insider advice that helps you fly smarter every time. Let's start with number 1, and this is one almost everyone gets wrong. 1. Carbonated drinks. One of the most common things people consume on a flight, and one of the worst, is carbonated drinks. Whether it's soda, sparkling water, or fizzy juice, these beverages might seem harmless on the ground, but at cruising altitude, they can quickly turn into a source of serious discomfort. The reason comes down to how your body reacts to cabin pressure. Inside an aircraft, the cabin is pressurized to a level equivalent to being at a much higher altitude than sea level. This change causes gases inside your body to expand, and when you drink something carbonated, you're introducing even more gas into your digestive system. The result is bloating, pressure, and that uncomfortable tight feeling in your stomach that seems to get worse the longer the flight goes on. What might feel like a refreshing drink during boarding can leave you feeling sluggish and uneasy just an hour into the flight. It's not just about comfort, either. Bloating can make sitting in a confined seat even more frustrating, especially on longer flights where movement is limited. You may find yourself constantly shifting, trying to relieve pressure, or wishing you had chosen something else to drink. Another issue is dehydration. Many people don't realize that carbonated drinks, especially those containing caffeine or sugar, can actually contribute to dehydration, which is already a problem in the dry cabin environment. Dehydration leads to fatigue, headaches, and overall discomfort, making your travel experience worse from start to finish. There's also the issue of frequent burping or gas buildup, which, while natural, can become embarrassing or inconvenient in a crowded cabin setting. What makes this mistake so common is that airlines themselves offer these drinks as standard options, leading passengers to assume they're perfectly fine. But frequent flyers and travel experts often avoid them completely. A better alternative is still water or electrolyte drinks, which help keep your body hydrated and reduce the chances of bloating. Even herbal tea can be a better option if you want something warm and comforting. The key is to avoid introducing unnecessary gas into your system while your body is already adjusting to altitude changes. Choosing the right drink might seem like a small decision, but it has a noticeable impact on how you feel during and after your flight. Once you've experienced the difference, it's a habit you'll never go back on. 2. Beans and lentil-based foods. Another category of food that should be avoided before and during a flight is anything made from beans or lentils. While these foods are often considered healthy and nutritious on the ground, they are one of the biggest triggers for gas and digestive discomfort in the air. Beans and lentils contain complex carbohydrates that are not fully broken down during digestion. Instead, they ferment in the gut, producing gas as a byproduct. Under normal conditions, this might cause mild discomfort, but inside an airplane cabin, the effect is significantly amplified due to pressure changes. As the cabin altitude increases, the gas inside your digestive system expands, leading to bloating, cramping, and a feeling of heaviness that can last for hours. Sitting in a confined space makes this even worse because you can't move around freely to relieve discomfort. On longer flights, this can turn into a constant source of irritation that affects your entire journey. Another issue is that these foods don't just impact you. they can affect the people sitting around you as well. In a closed cabin environment with limited airflow circulation, any gas-related discomfort can become noticeable, creating an awkward and unpleasant situation for everyone nearby. This is especially important to consider on full flights where personal space is already limited. What makes this mistake common is that many airport food options include bean-based meals, such as burritos, salads with chickpeas, or lentil soups, which seem like healthy choices at the time. Travelers often pick them thinking they're making a smart decision, only to regret it once they're in the air. The key thing to remember is that healthy doesn't always mean flight-friendly. Foods that are high in fiber and complex carbohydrates can be difficult to digest quickly, especially when your body is already dealing with reduced oxygen levels and lower cabin humidity. A better approach is to choose lighter, easy-to-digest meals that don't produce excess gas. Simple proteins, lean meats, or light snacks are far more comfortable options for air travel. Avoiding beans and lentils before a flight might seem like a small adjustment, but it can make a huge difference in how relaxed and comfortable you feel during the journey. Once you understand how your body reacts at altitude, this becomes an easy habit to follow. 3. Fried and greasy foods. Fried and greasy foods are another major mistake many travelers make before boarding a flight. And while they might seem satisfying in the moment, they can quickly turn into one of the most uncomfortable choices once you're in the air. Foods like French fries, fried chicken, burgers, and anything heavy in oil or fat take significantly longer to digest than lighter meals. On the ground, your body can usually handle this without too much trouble, but inside an airplane cabin, digestion slows down due to lower oxygen levels, reduced air pressure, and limited movement. This means that greasy food tends to sit in your stomach much longer, leading to a feeling of heaviness, sluggishness, and even nausea. Combine that with the natural dryness of cabin air, and you may also experience increased thirst and fatigue. Another issue is acid reflux. Fried foods are known to trigger heartburn, and when you're seated for long periods without the ability to move freely, that discomfort can intensify. The last thing you want on a long flight is a burning sensation in your chest while you're stuck in a cramped seat. Turbulence can make matters worse, turning an already uneasy stomach into a much bigger problem. There's also the lingering smell factor. Greasy foods often have strong odors that don't disappear quickly in a closed cabin environment, which can be unpleasant not only for you, but for the passengers around you. What makes this mistake so common is that airports are filled with fast food options that are quick, convenient, and tempting when you're in a hurry. Travelers often grab these meals without thinking about how they'll feel later. A better alternative is to choose lighter, balanced foods that are easier to digest, such as grilled options, simple sandwiches, or fresh salads without heavy dressings. These choices provide energy without overwhelming your system. Avoiding fried foods before a flight is one of the simplest ways to reduce discomfort and stay energized throughout your journey. Once you make the switch, you'll notice how much better your body feels in the air. 4. Alcohol. Alcohol might seem like a relaxing way to pass the time during a flight, but it's actually one of the worst things you can consume at altitude. Many travelers order a drink thinking it will help them unwind or even sleep better, but the effects of alcohol are significantly stronger in the air than they are on the ground. This is due to the lower oxygen levels and cabin pressure, which can intensify alcohol's impact on your body. Even a small amount can lead to faster dehydration, increased fatigue, and reduced alertness. Dehydration is already a major issue during flights because cabin air is extremely dry and alcohol only makes it worse. This can leave you feeling tired, dizzy, or even slightly ill by the time you land. Another problem is how alcohol affects your sleep. While it may make you feel drowsy initially, it actually disrupts the quality of your sleep, leading to restlessness and frequent waking. This means you're more likely to arrive at your destination feeling exhausted rather than refreshed. There's also the issue of increased sensitivity. Some people experience stronger emotional or physical reactions to alcohol at altitude, which can make the flight less comfortable, especially in a confined space. Additionally, alcohol can worsen jet lag by interfering with your body's natural rhythm, making it harder to adjust to a new time zone. On longer flights, this effect becomes even more noticeable. Another factor to consider is behavior. In a crowded cabin, even slight changes in mood or coordination can lead to awkward or uncomfortable situations. Flight attendants are also more cautious with alcohol service for this reason. What makes this mistake so common is that alcohol is widely available on flights, and often marketed as part of the travel experience. However, frequent flyers often limit or avoid it entirely, especially on long journeys. A better alternative is water, herbal tea, or electrolyte drinks, which help maintain hydration and keep your body balanced. Avoiding alcohol during flights may not seem like a big change, but it can significantly improve how you feel both during and after your trip. 5. Garlic-heavy foods. Garlic might make your meals taste incredible on the ground, but on an airplane, it can quickly become one of the worst choices you can make. Foods loaded with garlic, like garlic bread, certain pastas, sauces, or heavily seasoned meats, don't just affect your digestion, they affect everyone around you. The biggest issue is the smell. Inside an aircraft cabin, air is recycled and confined, which means strong odors don't disappear quickly. Instead, they linger and spread, making it difficult for nearby passengers to avoid. What might seem like a small thing can quickly turn into an uncomfortable situation, especially on longer flights where people are already dealing with limited space and fatigue. But it's not just about smell. Garlic can also cause digestive discomfort for many people, particularly when combined with other heavy or oily foods. At altitude, your digestion slows down, and this can lead to bloating, gas, or an uneasy stomach that lasts for hours. Another lesser-known issue is how garlic affects your breath. In a confined environment where you're sitting close to others, strong breath can become noticeable very quickly. This can make interactions awkward, especially if you're traveling with someone or need to speak with crew members. Many travelers don't think twice about grabbing a garlic-heavy meal at the airport because it's common in many cuisines and often part of convenient food options. However, frequent flyers tend to avoid it for exactly these reasons. A better approach is to choose meals with milder flavors that won't linger in the cabin or affect your digestion. Simple, lightly seasoned foods are much more travel-friendly and help create a more comfortable experience for both you and those around you. Avoiding garlic-heavy meals might seem like a small sacrifice, but it makes a noticeable difference in how pleasant your flight feels overall. 6. Spicy foods. Spicy foods are another major category to avoid before and during a flight, even if you normally enjoy them without any issues. Dishes loaded with chili, hot sauces, or strong spices can cause a range of problems once you're in the air. The biggest concern is how they affect your digestive system. Spicy foods can irritate the stomach lining and increase acid production, which raises the risk of heartburn or acid reflux. On the ground, this might be manageable, but in the air, where you're sitting for long periods and your body is under different pressure conditions, the discomfort can feel much worse. That burning sensation can linger and become difficult to ignore, especially on longer flights where movement is limited. Another issue is dehydration. Spicy foods can make you feel thirstier, and in an already dry cabin environment, this can leave you feeling even more dehydrated and fatigued. Dehydration contributes to headaches, low energy, and general discomfort, all of which can make your flight feel longer and more exhausting. There's also the possibility of sudden digestive reactions. Even if your body normally handles spicy food well, the combination of altitude, pressure, and limited movement can change how your system responds. This unpredictability is exactly what you want to avoid when you're confined to a seat for hours. In addition, spicy foods often have strong aromas that can linger in the cabin, similar to garlic-heavy meals, which may not be pleasant for nearby passengers. Many airport restaurants offer spicy options because they are flavorful and popular, but they are not always the best choice before boarding. A smarter option is to choose mild, balanced meals that are easy on the stomach and less likely to cause irritation. Avoiding spicy foods helps you stay comfortable, hydrated, and relaxed throughout your journey, making the entire travel experience much smoother. 7. Cruciferous vegetables: broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cabbage, and cauliflower are widely known for being healthy, nutrient-rich, and great for digestion on the ground. But when it comes to flying, these foods can quickly become one of the worst choices you can make before boarding a plane. The reason lies in how your body processes them. These vegetables contain complex sugars and high amounts of fiber that are not fully digested in the stomach. Instead, they move into the intestines, where they are broken down by bacteria, producing gas as a natural byproduct. Under normal conditions, this may cause mild bloating or discomfort, but inside an airplane cabin, the effect is significantly amplified. At cruising altitude, the cabin pressure is lower than what your body is used to on the ground, which causes gases inside your digestive system to expand. That means any gas produced from these vegetables becomes more noticeable, leading to increased bloating, pressure, and discomfort that can last for the duration of the flight. This can make sitting in a confined seat extremely uncomfortable, especially on longer journeys where movement is limited. You may find yourself constantly adjusting your position, feeling tightness in your abdomen, or wishing you had chosen a lighter meal. Another issue is that this discomfort doesn't go away quickly. Because these vegetables take time to digest, the effects can last for hours, sometimes even after you've landed. For travelers on long-haul flights, this can turn into a persistent source of irritation that affects sleep, relaxation, and overall travel experience. There's also the social factor to consider. In a closed cabin environment where air is recycled and personal space is limited, gas-related discomfort doesn't just affect you. It can impact the passengers around you as well, creating awkward situations that most people would rather avoid. While this may not be something travelers think about when choosing a meal at the airport, it becomes very noticeable once you're in the air. Another reason these vegetables can be problematic is how they are often prepared. Airport meals that include broccoli or cabbage are frequently combined with sauces, oils, or seasonings that can further slow digestion or add to the heaviness of the meal. This combination makes it even more likely that you'll feel sluggish or uncomfortable during the flight. What makes this mistake so common is that many travelers associate these foods with being healthy and assume they are always a good choice. While that's true in everyday situations, flying is different. Your body reacts differently at altitude, and foods that are beneficial on the ground can become problematic in the air. A better approach is to choose vegetables that are easier to digest, such as cucumbers, carrots, or leafy greens, which are less likely to produce gas. Pairing them with light proteins or simple carbohydrates can help maintain energy levels without causing discomfort. Avoiding cruciferous vegetables before a flight is a simple adjustment that can make a significant difference in how you feel throughout your journey. Once you experience a flight without that bloated, heavy feeling, you'll understand why frequent travelers are careful about what they eat before boarding. It's not about avoiding healthy food, it's about choosing the right kind of healthy food for the environment you're in. 8. Salty snacks, chips, pretzels, processed foods. Salty snacks like chips, pretzels, and other processed foods might seem like the easiest and most convenient option for a flight, but they are one of the most deceptive choices you can make when it comes to in-air comfort. These snacks are everywhere in airports and are often handed out on flights, which makes them feel like a safe and normal option. However, what most travelers don't realize is how negatively they can affect your body once you're at altitude. The primary issue with salty foods is dehydration. Airplane cabins are extremely dry, with humidity levels much lower than what your body is used to on the ground. This dry environment already pulls moisture from your skin and body, and consuming high-sodium foods only makes the situation worse. Salt causes your body to retain water in some areas, while increasing overall thirst, leading to that dry, uncomfortable feeling that many passengers experience mid-flight. Dehydration doesn't just make you thirsty. It can lead to headaches, fatigue, dizziness, and even difficulty concentrating. These effects can make your flight feel longer and more exhausting than it actually is. You may find yourself constantly reaching for water, but even then, it can take time for your body to rebalance. Another issue with salty snacks is bloating. Sodium can cause your body to retain fluids, leading to swelling and a feeling of puffiness, particularly in your hands, feet, and face. Combined with the natural effects of cabin pressure, this can create a noticeable sense of discomfort that lingers throughout the flight. There's also the issue of nutritional value. Most salty snacks are highly processed and offer very little in terms of real energy or nutrients. While they may satisfy hunger temporarily, they don't provide sustained energy, which can leave you feeling sluggish or tired shortly after eating them. This is especially problematic on longer flights, where maintaining steady energy levels is important. Another factor to consider is how these snacks affect your overall travel experience. Many processed foods are designed to be addictive, encouraging you to eat more than you actually need. This can lead to overeating, which only adds to the feeling of heaviness and discomfort during the flight. In a confined space where movement is limited, this can quickly become unpleasant. What makes this mistake so common is convenience. Salty snacks are quick, cheap, and widely available, making them an easy choice for travelers in a hurry. However, frequent flyers often avoid them or limit their intake, choosing instead to bring their own snacks that are better suited for air travel. A smarter alternative is to choose foods that help maintain hydration and provide steady energy, such as fresh fruit, unsalted nuts, or whole grain options. These choices are easier on the body and help you feel more balanced throughout the flight. Avoiding salty snacks may seem like a small change, but it has a noticeable impact on how you feel both during and after your journey. When you stay properly hydrated and avoid unnecessary sodium, your body handles the flight much better, allowing you to arrive feeling refreshed instead of drained. If you've made it this far, you now know something most travelers completely overlook, and it can make a bigger difference than your seat, your luggage, or even your boarding group. What you eat before and during a flight directly affects how you feel in the air. While others are dealing with bloating, dehydration, discomfort, or restless flights, you now have the advantage of making smarter choices that keep you comfortable from takeoff to landing. The truth is, flying already puts your body under pressure. The dry air, reduced oxygen levels, and limited movement all work against you. But when you combine that with the wrong foods, it only makes things worse. The good news? It's completely avoidable. By making a few simple changes, choosing lighter, easier to digest meals, and staying properly hydrated, you can turn your entire travel experience around. If this video helped you rethink what you eat before flying, make sure to hit the like button right now. It helps us bring you more practical travel tips that actually improve your trips. Don't forget to subscribe for more smart travel strategies, packing hacks, and insider tips designed to help you fly more comfortably every time. And share this with someone traveling soon. You might save them from a very uncomfortable flight. Travel smart, stay comfortable, and we'll see you in the next video.